Hello all, in this video we'll have a discussion on firm value based approach in deciding on optimal investment in accounts receivable. So the questions we are trying to answer in this video are these: does investment in accounts receivable affect firm value? What are the steps in using the firm value based approach? And the last one, how do we arrive at optimal investment in accounts receivable using this approach? Question number 1. Does investment in accounts receivable affect firm value? Answer is yes. We need to look at the benefits and compare with the cost. If you increase your accounts receivable, it leads to increase in sales, thereby it may increase your profits. But the cost of increasing accounts receivable is it is also going to increase your bad debts, and the money you are blocking in accounts receivable is going to make you lose your interest. So that means the interest foregone is also a cost we need to consider. So clearly there is a ground for balancing it out. So that means we are talking about trade-off or optimality. I take you to the second question, that is the heart of this video. What are the steps in using the firm value based approach? So basically there are 5 steps. In step 1, we are going to compute the current value of the firm with the present credit policy. In step 2, we are going to compute the revised value of the firm with its revised credit policy. In step 3, we are going to compute delta, that is change in cash flow due to change in credit policy. In step 4, we are going to add step 2 and step 3 results. And in step 5 we are going to conclude on whether we should increase or decrease the accounts receivable. Let me give you some numerical illustration so that you understand this better. So let's take a hypothetical firm, namely Rohan Pranav Ram Limited, RPRL it is. Their current annual revenue is INR 5000 crores. Their current accounts receivable is INR 2000 crores. This is the investment in accounts receivable. So that means that is coming around 40% of sales revenue. Their after tax operating income margin is 10%. The growth rate expected in EBIAT in the long run is 6%, and their cost of capital is 15%. So what is the decision point here, Rohan? Why don't you read it out? Should RPRL increase its accounts receivable by revenue ratio from the present 40% to 50% by opting for liberal credit policy is the decision. Okay. So at present their investment is 40%. That means that their accounts receivable by revenue is at present at 40%. The question now which the company is contemplating is this: if they are going to increase the accounts receivable by about another 10% through following liberal credit policy, they are wondering whether it is going to enhance their value, right? So we are making some assumptions here. The number 1 is this revised credit policy will increase revenue by 5% immediately, that is only in the next year. It will increase revenue and EBIAT as well as cash flow by around 1%, that means from 6% to 7% in the long run. There will be no change in terms of cost of capital and EBIAT margin, and please ignore delta capex, other components of working capital and the depreciation. So let's run through the steps now, right? So in step 1 we are computing the current value of RPRL when it is going to follow its status quo, that means it's following its current credit policy, right? So this is going to be this way, right? So it's similar like our inventory discussion. If you remember our discussion on inventory, wherein we were talking about how we should use firm value based approach in arriving at optimal investment in inventory, right? It is similar to that. Only changes there it was inventory, here it is accounts receivable, right? So we'll start with the revenue 5000 crores it is, into the after tax operating margin, that is 10%, into growth rate 1.06 minus 5000, this is for reinvestment, so 5000 that is for current revenue, into growth rate, that is 0.06, into 0.40, that is the current ratio of accounts receivable to revenue. This is the numerator, divided by the difference between cost of capital and growth rate. that is 15% and 6%, gives us the firm value for RPRL at INR 4556 crores. Now let us go for second step, wherein we are trying to find out the revised value of the company when it is going to change its credit policy, right? From 40% receivable, if it is going to change to 50%, now what will happen to the value of the firm, right? That is a question we are trying to answer, right? So run through the computation process again. Yeah, Pranav, why don't you tell what is going to happen, right? Yeah. So revenue 5,000 crores into 1.05. What is that, Navneet? Navneet? Arey Navneet, are you listening to me or not? Why don't you answer this question, na? So this 1.05%, right, Ram, what is it? So it is nothing but your growth rate in revenue, which will happen immediately because of increasing your receivable to revenue ratio, right? Because you are giving them more credit, liberal credit policy, right? So 1.05 into 0.10 after tax operating margin, this is assumed to be remaining same compared to the present scenario, into 1.07. Earlier it was 1.06, right? The growth rate, now it is 7%, so into 1.07 minus reinvestment, that is going to be 5,000 present revenue into 1.05 into 0.07 into 0.50 divided by the difference between cost of capital and growth rate, right? So here it is 0.50 because the revised receivable to inventory receivable to revenue ratio is 50%. Earlier it was 40%, right? So this gives us the revised value of INR 4725 crores. We need to take this component, right? Some of us will miss this. You should not do that, right? So when you are increasing your receivable from 40% to 50% of revenue, so there is increased investment in receivable. So that means money is going out. So now let's find out what is the delta cash outflow, right? So that means current accounts receivable is INR 2000 crores given in the problem. Proposed receivable is current revenue of 5000 crores into 1.05, that is a growth rate, into 0.50, that gives us receivable amount of INR 2625 crores. So the difference between these two is increase of 625 crores. So that means the money that is going out from your pocket is delta 625 crores. So some result of second and third step. So that means 4725 crores. It is minus, it's not plus because cash outflow. So that means the net value of the firm, once you are going to increase your receivable to revenue ratio from 40% to 50%, is going to be INR 4100 crores. So let's take the decision now, right? What is the conclusion, right? The conclusion, Rohan, is this. The current credit policy gives us the value of INR 4556 crores for this firm, whereas the new credit policy is giving us a value of INR 4100 crores. So which is lower by 456 crores. So the conclusion is we should not change the present credit policy. So summary is this, guys. There are only 3 questions which we are answering, right? Question number 1 is, does investment in accounts receivable affect firm value? Question number 2 is, what are the steps in using the firm value based approach? Question number 3 is, how do we arrive at optimal investment in accounts receivable using this approach? See you in the next video, guys. Take care.